I love you, Mike. I just like Charlie a little bit more.
Touche. Hey, you said I love you.
You'll take it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keith and Mike Watch Deep Space Nine. Today we are talking about Season 7, Episode 23, Extreme Measures. I'm extremely excited to be here talking with everybody about this episode. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, Keith. I have something I need to address right at the top.
Already? Jeez.
Already, yeah. Christmas Gate 2025.
Oh, God.
In the mail yesterday, I got a package.
Oh, yes, you did.
Do you know about this?
I do.
Oh, okay. Because we spent all night trying to figure out who sent this. There was no card, no note, no return address.
That is boring.
There's a giant, awesome Golden Girls blanket. Was that you, buddy?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Hold on. I was gonna... Solved it.
I was wondering when you were going to figure out that I did that.
Well, you know, it's funny. I was about to attribute it to JD because he had asked, I think because he lost his computer or something, he had asked my address again or whatnot. And so I thought for sure had to be, right? But
right.
Let me tell you, I am not one to send an anonymous gift. I like that adulation right away.
Well, here's the thing. You're ascribing like motivation in the anonymity, when in all reality it was like it came up like, oh, that's kind of cool. All right, I'll just send it to Mike, and never thought about it again. Okay. I didn't think about it before. I didn't think about it after. My monitors were acting weird, so here I am. I'm gonna be like Mike today and wear my headphones.
It's nice, right? Feels nice.
Feels nice. It looks weird.
I mean, I've been looking weird for years.
Yeah,
okay, so
enough.
that's one thing.
Yes.
I think that's it. I think we're ready to go.
All right, so the mysterious blanket. Yes. Yeah. Yes, it came from your co-host.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a good one. We needed a new one because our previous Golden Girls blanket is about 15 years old and is now like been dogged and it's in bad shape, so now I can officially get rid of it.
Honestly, I didn't even know you already had a Golden Girls blanket.
Who you talking to?
I mean, look, I should have known, and it should have been obvious when I saw it, and I'm like, oh, Mike and Jen need this.
Christmas Gate Part 2. So this is we just celebrated our year anniversary in the house, and I made friends with our new HOA president. His name is Aaron, and he had come to my door because he's like, look, we're trying to get some of the old blood out. We're trying to get some of the younger folks to be in the HOA.
Kill some of the old people?
No, not kill them, but just so that some more progressive ideas for the HOA could be implemented. Because we had some older. It was a little stiff up in there. So
a little dusty.
So me and Aaron have struck up a little friendship. But also, I have a crazy neighbor next door over here, and Aaron has been very cool in helping me keep that non-volatile. Because shocker, that guy is also very complaining to the HOA. So
it would track.
So
consistent.
Anyway, Aaron calls up or texts me a few days ago, or this is probably a week or two ago, and he's like, "Hey, Roboto Christmas, we always decorate really nice. It's beautiful here. It looks like a little like painting. Would you want to help? Put up the lights, and then we're gonna have coffee and cookies after. It'll be a whole nice thing. You can meet some of the neighbors. Absolutely. Me and Jen couldn't be more interested in helping out.
Right.
Well,
right, sure. Oh,
it's tomorrow, and it starts at 6:30 in the morning.
What?
Because so.
Okay, well, that's going to be the first thing you're going to have to override is like, we are not on boomer time.
Well, I guess it's because people got lives and things to do on the weekend, but so me and Jen
on the weekend at 6:30 in the morning. It's not even like before the kids go to school.
We're getting up tomorrow morning. We're putting the lights on the wreaths on the lamp posts in the neighborhood.
Hard no. Hard no.
I said yes. I have to honor that commitment. I can't pull out.
No. They're the ones who did it wrong by lying to you
Well, no.
Because that
They
should
didn't
have
lie
been
to me.
No.
They
no,
were
no,
just.
no, no,
I
no.
didn't ask any questions.
When you don't mention a time, you are asserting that this is a sane human time.
Well, they
And
actually
so-
did it back. So initially it was going to start at 7:30, but then it was like, but a lot of people get here at 6:30, and I was like, well, what does that mean? So what I'm going to show up? I'm going to be the guy who's late?
No.
I'll be there at 6:30.
No. Wrong.
But that said,
Wrong.
before I sound too altruistic, Keith, I do have this
Don't
dead.
worry.
I do have this dead tree in my front yard, and I am angling to get the HOA to pay to get it out.
Mhm.
So I gotta help out.
It's not that big, though. Right? You just take it out yourself?
No, the HOA. Look, the HOA. You can't have colored lights on your door, but they're gonna let me take an axe and cut my own tree down.
I don't know what to say. What to say. I don't have an HOA.
If you want to cut it down, can you just fuck Keith? Merry Christmas.
Just get a chainsaw. It's not a big deal.
It's a little big for a chainsaw. It's
How
right in
big-
front of my house, man. I don't know how to get the angles of the dangles.
How big around is it?
Big enough that it could fall in my house, okay?
Oh, okay, well then you need to be good with the chainsaw.
Nah, I gotta get them to pay for it, all right?
All right. That's probably reasonable. The Vermonter and me.
How's Christmas over in Metuchen?
Metuchen? Hey,
Rahway, how you doing over there?
just say my town name.
You got some-
Jillian will kill me.
They're gonna track you down.
No, I mean, other than there's this mysterious plague going around New York City right now, and I think I picked it up at the gala, and which means that, like, it's like this feels like a regular cold, except
Right.
it's like has like COVID levels of fatigue, and it has stuck around for forever. So if I seem a little low energy, that is why. But doing okay. We got our tree this week. We haven't
Nice.
decorated it, but we put it up there. So Jillian wanted it. So the cat was confused, but it's all good. It's all good.
Has Charlie decided to is not a tree destroyer?
Charlie is an odd cat. He doesn't really do the things you expect him to do. He doesn't do a lot of like normal cat things.
He likes to
does
swerve.
He's his own special boy. I'll put it that way, and we love him for it. But I think I'm going to put the train set up.
Oh, that's
and,
cool.
And do the train set around the tree.
You're really leaning hard into that autism thing.
I mean, woo trains.
Puerto Rico.
Oh, hey, no. You're allowed to say it. You're in the family. This is the one. You are finally allowed to make neurodivergent jokes. That is the one license you have.
I feel like I'm paying my therapist just to hand out diagnoses. It's like the 12 days of I have my own advent calendar of mental illness diagnoses.
Look, 10th one is free. With the punch card. All right, let us talk about last week's episode
Yes,
and read
please.
the Patron comments. Last week's episode was the legendary, the fantastic, the groundbreaking Tacking into the Wind. Really excited. Lots of people had lots of feelings. And don't worry, we're going to address the ones that y'all want me to address at the end. First up, we got trolled multiple times on this episode.
This one. Well, is this the one they pushed? That YouTube pushed?
No, it was the one a couple weeks ago.
No, this was just people. Guys, shocker!
Yeah.
7 episodes deep or 7 seasons deep. We're liberal. Hot take.
On episode 171, they're finally catching on. All right, Joshua Cronin
No, my
says...
favorite was if we're not gonna. We might as well put them all.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, we're getting there. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do the whole thing at the end. We got this is how you tease TV,
Gotcha.
keep people watching.
Yeah, but when I put funny stuff at the end, you flame me for it.
But we're gonna tease that it's coming.
All right. Okay.
You put it like after the credits on a 2-hour-long podcast, and I don't cut it. I don't cut it from the good part of it. It's like you take the meat patty out of a Big Mac and like throw it in a cold tin to eat after your apple pie.
That would have been like casting Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein if you're Del Toro, and then you put his hot face on his ass.
He put his hot face on his ass?
No, if he had, like because I put the good stuff on the back.
He just like drops trow and is like, "Hello, I'm Jacob Elordi."
I walked down the steps to record today. I was like, I'm gonna be serious today. I'm gonna take this seriously.
Literal ass face over here. Somebody CGI that. All
Yes,
right,
please.
Joshua Cronin says, Incredible stepping stone to the finale arc. I have nothing to add. You already said all the wonderful it is. But Mike, there is still better in the last 3, so I can't wait till you see it. As always, love watching your critiques. As always, 96 self-sealing stem bolts from me. Brian from Video Game Drive Bays bye says, hi guys. Y'all said everything I was going to say for this episode. We talked too long. Everyone, is like, yeah, we said it all. Such a strong episode, so many prescient ideas and problems being shown. It manages to juggle everything flawlessly. Damar is the leader of the Cardassia needs now, and Odo and Garrick, such a powerful silence between their words. I wish that deleted scene would have been in there. And the Klingons of it all.
Oh, yeah.
The eyes opening are to allow the warrior to enter Stovacor ready to fight. That's why they do that. And the yell on Worf's part is to warn the afterlife that a warrior is coming. Bad ass. Yeah, we did that early in Next Gen. Established that. It's pretty cool. Too many other things to say, so instead I'll just join the chant. Worf! 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 Worf. I needed to honor every Worf that you typed 100%.
Out.
100 stem bolts, and one more to add to the previous one for sticking the landing in a couple of plots started last episode.
So I think officially then, that's our first breach of 100.
No, is one to the previous episode.
Oh, okay. So we've yet to breach the rankings. Which we did. I think we gave permission. We can exceed 100 if necessary.
No, we can't. You can't go to 11. 100.
I thought we had discussed this already.
No. Well, you might have said nonsense. I didn't agree to it.
That's fair. And that's probably true.
Yeah. Keep resisting, guys. Resist today, resist tomorrow. It is inspiring. Damn right.
Oh, okay. That was legit. Okay.
Yeah. Odo's Bucket says, hey guys, great discussion as always. I feel like the writers are packing a ton of material into each of these last few episodes, so there's a lot to go over with this episode in particular, having multiple full circle moments. I'll add that to the scene between Damar and Kira on the runabout is a top 5 moment of the series for me. So many Cardassians had the view that they were on the right side of history during the occupation. For the new resistance leader to feel an ounce of that suffering right now signals a new collective reckoning with the past. Such a great way of putting that, and, lots to think about there. And then there's the Worf of it all. Carrying over Worf's relationship with Gowron from Next Gen until now has been amazing. Every time I rewatch the episode Apocalypse Rising, and Gowron says to Worf, you should have killed me when you had the chance. I promise you won't get another. And I always think, you sure about that? 98 self-sealing stem bolts for me. That's what I thought too, but I couldn't say it to Mike. Because, spoiler alert, Hibernation Pod says, Mike's hyper reaction to the big battle is the content I am here for. Worf, 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 100 shattered steel batlets. Fantastic. YouTube viewer says, sorry I'm late to the party. I had a long Thanksgiving holiday with ups and downs. I thought the ups were like the in-laws, the up-laws, the down-laws. Yeah, you're in good company there, buddy.
You're seen.
Luana the Vorta wasn't on for very long. She was only one of 3 female Vortas that we see. I don't think we ever get a scene with 2 Vorta in the same room. The closest we get is Wayun 6 and 7 talking to each other over the comms. I imagine a Vorta on Vorta arguments would be intense. It'd be funny to watch feuding Vorta fight in private and try to pretend to be buddy-buddy whenever the founders are watching. I think that's hilarious. There needs to be like a sitcom. Like, the Vortas, and they're all like staying in a house together.
Hey, I'll tell you this. After seeing that Vorta, I'm here for any Vorta on Vorta content.
There it is. To answer Mike's question, I believe at this point in Garrick's character evolution, he believes that the moral path forward is also the tactical path forward for Cardassia long-term at last. Great observation. And I think that is true. Like Garrick always being the pragmatist, now realizing that morality and pragmatism sometimes go hand in hand. I believe that is what the Federation is entirely based on. Cool. Martok is a lousy husband, but he promised his wife that he would die in battle, and instead he becomes Chancellor? Hilarious. To answer Mike's question, Chancellor Gowron's entourage is made up of high-ranking officials. They can spread the word of what happened very fast and with great credibility. Solid episode, but I cannot give this a perfect 100, so I give this 96 self-sealing stem bolts. I am a little annoyed that Odo shapeshifting into Kira's shackles violates the laws of conservation of mass, which is also true of every other time that Odo has ever shifted, ever. Because he's like a glass, he's a rat, he's a bag.
Have we established, I don't know this, have we established that the rules of physics, the fundamental rules of physics as we know them now, exist in the 20-whatever century? Things might have changed. Once you introduce other species, things get different.
Well, physics are physics, but I think we might have introduced that we have not figured out physics entirely yet.
Yeah. I mean, we're dealing with, like, the wormhole non-corporeal beings?
For sure. I mean, like, in canon, I think we're just widening our understanding of what is possible. Out of canon, don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. Suspend your physics.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Kevin Miles says, these last few episodes remind me of running downhill, so you just can't stop. Mike, what is, how would Kate Bush sing Running Downhill?
Actually, I don't know. Is that the big popular song from Stranger Things we're talking about?
Yeah.
That's
called Running Uphill.
I can't think how that goes.
Never mind.
I think it goes something like, I'm running down.
There it is. That was worth it.
Was it?
99 stem bolts from Kevin Miles. Keith Blank says, the Patron live viewing was super fun.
Yeah, a lot of people just jumping in, finally.
It's fun. We had a good crowd last week.
Oh, yeah. Although, next week,
episode.
Keith, I'm taking a risk, and I'm doing it.
Oh, God.
I miss my chats. I want to be back in the chat.
No,
I know
dude,
we're
no.
worried. I know.
No, you can't. You can go back and read the chat.
I know, but I'm like, there was all these inside jokes. Anne's writing us about Walter getting pizza. I don't even know what we're talking about.
And I fill you in that there's 2 more episodes.
You don't say anything. I see you smugly grinning and laughing. I don't see any. There's no effort made to bring me into it.
Well, because we're trying to make you watch the episode. We're trying to make you 2 more episodes. Voyager, you can be chatty chat.
So we're going to have to change the title of the show to Mike watches Deep Space Nine while Keith has fun inside jokes and laughs at him.
All the friends have a good time at the party while they force Mike to watch an old TV show.
7 minutes, 49 minutes in heaven. Mike's just locked in the closet watching TV. Everybody else is making out.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. JD says, I was not ready for that intro. Gosh darn it. Yeah. Our intro last week was intense.
Well, I gave myself the mission. I was going to pop I should have written it down, but it was the Firefly AI prompt I gave it the first still, which was just our last shot of our outro. And I said, have these two descend into a sword fight in space whilst both yelling battle cries. And it was horrific, but not terrible.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
We were wearing hoodies, and I thought we were going to eat each other at one point, but
it's for sure. Well, look, this is what AI is good for. For the lazy bad prompts, for the bad jokes that no human should spend the amount of time creating these things.
Right.
It is not to design good jokes or to replace good jokes.
Correct.
That should be done by humans. But the lazy bad stuff makes sense. Yeah. Because otherwise it wouldn't happen. JD continues. The idea of Section 31 basing the disease on Odo's solidifying story is neat, like you posited, but doesn't work with the timeline. because Odo had been infected a few months earlier during his visit to Earth, so if anything, Odo gave the disease to the Founders when they solidified him, and because they solidified him, it slowed the progression of the disease in Odo, meaning if he hadn't solidified, Odo probably would have died around the same time as Dax. I like that, because you closed that idea, but also closed a bit of a wormhole. I like it. Mike, I would agree and say that the most actually heroic thing about Damar is his recognition that going back to status quo will never work, and that his world must fundamentally change. That is what a real hero sees. After the Civil War, most of our country fought to go back to an old status quo, and it's why we are where we are now. Agreed. It's funny to me how many grown people can't admit to not knowing something. They just have an opinion and must share it. Yeah, that's the best thing we do, is we have no idea what we're doing.
I'd like to hope that we say that up front, though. Like, I don't know, but here's my thought, rather than, like, I don't have any problem being wrong or not knowing something, but I do enjoy trying to wildly guess.
Oh, for sure. For sure. No, I mean, that's the thing. As strident as I am with my opinions and thoughts, which I am, I admittedly, they change if I get new information. And I don't pretend to know shit I don't know, hopefully. The Garrick might be having fun, but he absolutely has Kira's back, and I love that. Agreed. This episode is only 50 minutes, but it's so loaded that it feels like a feature film. Agreed with the Zial conversation was had in the look between Kira and Damar in that moment, and that scene is so good. It is a point of growth that is painful, as many of them are. So the simplest definition of patriotism is love of country. And I like to remind people that if you love your kid, you don't let them touch the burner on the stove. If you love your dog, you don't let them poop in bed. Love isn't about dedication and devotion. It is also about taking responsibility to guide, protect, and build up what you love. And I would say even further, I would add to that, hold accountable. In regards to Mike's question about Martok becoming Chancellor, in theory, there would still need to be a rite of ascension ceremony, which they never show, but as long as no one challenges Martok during the ceremony, he stays Chancellor, and to be fair, Captain Picard is still the Arbiter of Ascension, which we should watch the next-gen part of that. And with a war going on, Picard might not be available. The conversation around Damar's family dying to me is not only the best scene in the episode, for me, it's probably a top 5 for the series, in my opinion. This is a solid 100 self-sealing stem bolts from me. It's helpful to know that if I challenge Keith to a duel, he will bring a Slim Jim to a gunfight. I don't think Slim Jims have ever been unwelcome.
You know, JD, not so subtly, I mean, very subtly, but consistently, lets it be known he watches to the end of the show. That he appreciates every second of effort placed into it, because he always makes a reference to our teaser that Keith 100%. Just shat upon.
Yeah, because only JD sees it.
You know what? And if I reach only JD, I feel I've accomplished my mission.
But you could accomplish more if more than JD sees it.
You know what?
It doesn't matter.
It's all for JD, baby.
This whole show.
And I will always love JD.
All right, there it is. That should be your ringtone, JD. Make that your ringtone.
I like my wife. I love me some JD.
Yeah, JD doesn't watch, or Jen does not watch the tags.
And now that JD is no longer RAM limited, let me tell you. See, I got my own inside joke. Because I watch JD's content.
Oh yeah, no, I know. It's got a computer replaced. Got more RAM. I know. All right, Alan.
Way to piece it together with context clues.
No, I got an email. Alan T. Girton says, guys, so much love for all the discussion on, about, and tangential to the episode. My best moments? Damar and Kira in the runabout, and Worf's twitch after Ezri's sweet comment. 98 stem bolts. And Rao Tao says, masterpiece. I have been saying since I first watched the show, it out Star Wars' Star Wars.
Yeah, I think I said that too. It does.
Well, because it has much deeper and richer characters and a much more complex world and moral building. But don't worry, not everybody loved us.
No.
And this, so I figured, well, why not? Let's do it. So David Wrong says, really? A 2-hour breakdown of a 42-minute show? Faster to just watch the show than to listen to these two fools.
Yeah, of course!
To which I say, hooray! You've just invented a podcast. But here's the thing. David, sweet David, that's the laziest of trolls.
The worst!
Every podcast in history, somebody says this. And I don't think, David, I don't think you actually watched the show. I think this was a drive-by trolling.
Possible, yeah.
It was a drive-by trolling.
Yeah, because can you imagine watching a show you love, right? Imagine watching a show you love, and then you listen to the 5-minute podcast?
Right.
Why would I do that?
Yeah,
it's like when your team watches ESPN, when you got a favorite team, and they get their butts handed to them at the World Series. You don't watch any TV. You turn it off. But if they win the World Series or the Super Bowl or whatever, I want the 7-hour documentary on it.
Oh my
obviously.
God, the post-game I watch after the Giants won the Super Bowl. No, forget. Yeah, that's just lazy. That's just lazy. But you know what? You know who does? Listen to the show.
Yeah. Their Spotify Wrapped shows it, yeah.
That's Bung Monkey, $22.95.
Stop. That's it. That's the end of the comment. If you're gonna come throwing fireballs and your avatar and your username is Bung Monkey,
yeah,
it's just stop.
That's it. But $22.95. That's got to have a meaning to it. It says, and I'm going to clean this up. Jesus freaking Christ, can you just talk about Deep Space Nine? This part made me mad because of how dumb you are. Illegal immigrants aren't citizens and thus don't get due process. They don't belong in America, period. So let's talk about.
We should unpack it a little bit. Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Let's talk about first off, due process. And I asked this question. You did not have the courage to answer it because it is intellectually impossible to answer this question and hold to your point. Let's just talk about due process. Without due process, how do you know someone is, quote, illegal? The answer to that question...
Well, they look it, Keith.
...is racism. Hey, we found it. Because they're not the same color or speak the same language. That's just racist. Okay. But if you talk about America, right? I'm assuming you're trying to defend America, which you love and cherish. Do you not understand what America is? Do you not understand that the core tenet of America is due process?
Well, I also thought maybe immigration also?
Also immigration? Yeah, because guess what? Immigrant, all of us, unless you are an indigenous person, you're an immigrant. But beyond that, it's just like the intellectual dishonesty of defending America in your mind from the invasion of whatever by fundamentally undermining and misunderstanding what makes America America. I believe in the Pledge of Allegiance we say something about justice for all.
No, all Americans, right? ...
We missed the all Americans or all citizens or all white people.
It's assumed.
Oh, it's so funny because I thought all meant all. It's so weird, and that's sort of the core tenet of America is that nobody is above the law, but also nobody is below the law. The laws apply to all, not just citizens. But for sure, you can defend America by fundamentally misunderstanding what makes America America. Yeah, none of that here. None of that here.
Yes.
We welcome any and all immigrants, non-immigrants, citizens, non-citizens. You're all freaking welcome here. And the only people who are not welcome are, racists and xenophobes. So if that bothers you, go find a MAGA Deep Space Nine podcast. Oh, wait, there aren't any because it is fundamentally misunderstanding what Deep Space Nine is.
I'll go even more specifically, Keith.
Okay.
Because I do have a prejudice.
Oh, let's hear it.
Generally speaking, I enjoy and tolerate all monkeys. But there is one monkey I just don't like, and I can't give a great reason for it, and that's a bung monkey.
Bung monkey.
Yeah.
Bung monkey.
No.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I appreciate everybody who came to our defense in the comments, but did so with I don't want to say kindness. I will say with restraint and not furthering the nastiness. I appreciate everybody, seriously.
Yeah, and look, Bung Monkey, you're watching Star Trek, right? Which is fundamentally an inclusive and progressive ideology, world building. The whole point of Star Trek, infinite diversity, infinite combinations. So obviously, some part of you is not repulsed by that, because I assume that you can understand some of it. So keep watching the show, because I think there are some lessons here to learn, that the way that you are thinking about the world is, I don't know what your sources are. I don't know anything about you. I don't know your history. I don't know what's going on. And I welcome you to keep exploring the ideals and ideas of Star Trek.
Well, that being said, I often am interested in the fact that, in the 30s and 40s, when we didn't even have like global satellite imagery, it made much more sense about how we defined borders and dealt with things that we couldn't see, and cartographers had to draw maps, and there was a lot of interpretation and assumption. Then, nowadays, we can see everything. So as we became more of a zoom out, and it became more of a global community, the ideas of rigidly drawn boundaries is more kind of comical in a way, especially with global trade, and things become very much more blurred. Then what happens when you zoom out even further, and we're talking sci-fi, and we're talking intergalactic, universal. Right. When you zoom out that far, the difference between our like southern border or whatnot, it becomes sort of comical. In fact, like
it becomes increasingly arbitrary and silly.
When we talk about Earth in Trek, there's no longer a discussion of like boundaries of countries. You're talking about Earth as a place.
Well, and thus you are understanding the point of Star Trek.
Right.
Like, that is what Star Trek is asking you, to zoom out and see all of us as living creatures. Now, which is not to say that I don't believe in the rule of law.
Yeah.
I very much believe in the rule of law. And I'm not saying that the law shouldn't apply to everyone. In fact, I'm saying the law should apply to everyone equally and justly. That's one of the really interesting. I do not want to get sidetracked on this, even though we have. Way late.
The double tap strikes on these drug boats, right?
The murders?
Yeah, right. Like, because the conversation becomes, and there are rules that are written out in the military code, which I do not know, so I don't want to. But the conversation around even bad guys, let's say, and I guess you don't know for sure. I'm assuming that these were drug people, right? I'm going to play that argument that far out.
Pretend that is a credible source saying that, sure.
Once they are incapacitated, right? At that point, even though they're bad guys, let's say, there's still rules associated with this. You can't just do whatever you want.
No, and that's exactly it about the laws. Like, the following the rule of law means it has nothing to do with the good or badness of the person that you are enforcing the law on. It means you have to follow the law, whether they're Hannibal Lecter or whether they're Mother Teresa. The law applies to everyone equally. And if you think that, it shouldn't apply to people that we, to people who are undocumented or whatever. All right, so what are you saying? The law doesn't apply to them? So are you saying you just murder them? You can do anything because they're extrajudicial, they don't exist in the law, and that it applies within our country, it applies without of our country. Murder is murder, is murder, is murder, is murder.
Well, that's also why, it's funny, not funny. We got to change the subject now.
We should do.
I always find the sort of built-in paradoxical nature of our justice system, which is built to make it very difficult to convict someone, right? It's built to make it...
It should be.
Yes. To prove beyond a reasonable shadow of doubt should be very difficult. But because we put it...
innocent until proven guilty.
Because, generally speaking, for the most part, we put it in the hands of citizens who are...
Right.
Imbued with their own... And even though we do have voir dire and there's all these checks and balances, we're inherently flawed, it can also be radically easy to convict someone who is innocent. So the paradox of that is...
And yeah, I mean, absolutely. But, within our country, what makes our country, as I said it before, but I'll say it again because I think it bears repeating. No one is above the law, i.e. the people drone striking people with no evidence or due process, pretending there's a war when there isn't a war. You are liable to that law. No one is below the law. When they say equality and justice for all, it is not qualified. Everybody is protected by the law. That's what makes America America, whether you are a citizen or not, whether you are a criminal or not, whether you are anything. Everybody. Bin Laden. Like, you pick whatever monster you have, what makes our country as a country is they are protected by and held accountable to the law. That is what makes America America. You are protected by it and accountable to it. Full stop. All people.
Do you know what I wish I had on cue, Keith? Is that I wish, because I would have hit it right now, that button of that. Who was that dude who was singing that patriotic song on all of our out of practice podcasts?
Oh, John Ashcroft?
Oh, man, that would have been a great pull right
like
now.
Like an eagle. No, that's not right. Something about eagle. Well, anyway. Listeners from Out of Practice Podcast will get that. Let's talk about this episode, shall we?
Ooh, sorry, Bung Monkey. Thanks for your support. Thanks for the views.
To which I say, you started it. You know what? You have to be accountable. We give everybody the same equal protections.
We all know it's Tom Brady, just changing his name.
Yeah, probably. All right, so Extreme Measures.
Deep cut.
Ironically, Extreme Measures aired on May 19th, 1999. Oh, we are getting close to the what was it? The 2000 Y2K.
Yeah.
We're thinking about that.
May 19th, Keith, you want to go dark? Can I do my one dark thing of the whole podcast?
Oh, it's been so light and frothy so far?
May 19th was my dad's birthday. It would be his penultimate birthday.
Yeah.
Think about that. Wow.
Wow. We're here again. Here again.
we always find our way here, don't we?
It was also just about my 19th birthday.
Yeah, 2001, banner year for me, man.
The top song.
Oh yeah.
We were still living a life of a certain the mental health state. Oh Jesus.
We're living la vida Bung Monkey.
Living the lead up a monkey. That could be your ringtone, butt monkey. Oh, bun monkey. Oh no, bung monkey. Yeah.
You think two guys so versed in potty humor could handle the term bung monkey, but I cannot
Do we
get
have
over
senioritis? Are we dealing with senioritis right now?
it.
The top movie. Speaking of
Bung monkeys.
the Star Trek, Star Wars discussion, top movie this week was The Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah, okay.
There it was.
Bringing it back.
Speaking of casual racism,
I'm not even gonna do a solid Jar Jar, but I will.
No, don't do that. But what you can do is you can tell us what was on TV tonight.
Oh, I can't wait, Keith. Really excited to do so. Dangerous Minds. Remember that was a TV show they made from that Morgan Freeman movie, and it was bad. Also, Sybil Shepherd, who apparently was troubling. Who knew? Her show was on. And also, another troubling guy had a show at 8 o'clock, which we won't even say his name, we've decided. But at least CBS closed out, it rhymes with Schmosby, At 10 o'clock, Chicago Hope. Thank goodness David E. Kelley had a presence.
Manny Patinkin, so good.
Melrose Place, Ned and Stacy, Married with Children. Jeff Foxworthy. Mr. Rhodes was a show that happened on NBC.
Sure.
Remember that?
I remember it from you talking about it from Out of Practice, but I don't remember what it was. It was like a Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, Washington thing.
That, Keith. You know what? It was a simpler time. We had Letterman at 11:30. I missed that. Missed those days.
Sure did. Yeah. In the CBS days, yeah. What was Voyager doing this week? The episode Warhead, in which AI tries to eat the Doctor. That's not good. So Extreme Measures was directed by Stephen L. Posey.
40 minutes! Wow!
No surprise there. Who last directed Penumbra. It was written by Bradley Thompson and David Weddle. Now, it's hard to say anything at this point in the series is trivial, but I think we've proven.
Now Keith, waste your time.
Bung Monkey!
With trivial trivia.
We've never devoted this much time to a troll.
We haven't. Well, I mean,
this will forever be known as the Bung Monkey episode.
This troll really just went hard with the racism, so I was like, it's time. All right, so originally, at the end of the previous episode, Tacking Into the Wind, Bashir and O'Brien were to set off for a planet, which they will have learned that played host to the Section 31 headquarters. However, as Weddle and Thompson were working on Extreme Measures, which focused on the search for a cure, it quickly became apparent that if too much money was used there, then there wouldn't be enough for the final episodes. As such, they had to scale back the scope of this episode, so they relocated it from the planet to an interior environment. This meant, of course, that Moore had to rewrite the end of Tacking in the Wind to set it up properly. Budget played a big role in where we are in this episode. As explained above, it was originally written to be an Odo episode. Ronald D. Moore stated initially our thought was to have Odo going into Luther Sloan's mind and having a surreal adventure where he eventually ran into Dr. Mora and learned that it was his own father who created the changeling disease. Ooh, jeez.
Wow. That's good.
That's crazy, right? Unable to really mine this concept for all it was worth, we junked it and decided to make one final Bashir and O'Brien adventure. And I think maybe we were closer to the original idea. I mean, that would be a jaw-dropper. I would love to see Mora come back at some point. I think that would have unless we came up with a good reason for him to have done it, it would have undermined a lot of good work that they did in that relationship.
Though I hadn't even thought about this until right this second, so forgive me a chance to kind of think of this out loud. There would have been something special about Odo having agency in the discovery of the cure.
Yes.
And this might still happen actually, so keep your face. And then being faced with the global dilemma of having the cure and deciding whether he wants to use it or knowing that by giving it to us, we might not save the rest of the founders. Like what? Because that's the next big question. We have the cure, right? And it's not just, are they coming for us to get it, but also the question of should we give it, right? Because is withholding the cure, Keith, the same genocide as creating the disease in the first place?
Is inaction an action into itself?
Which is a question I don't have an answer for right now because it could win us. It's going to win us the war if we can hold out just long enough. Or is that? I mean, that's nuking, man.
Yeah, sure is. Interesting moral dilemma you got there.
Because I imagine Odo's going to want to give it to them. If I know Do.
If you know Do. Yeah, well, I'm not. I can't address it. I can't address it.
All right.
The papers found atop Sloan's desk within his mind. Some of them are the same pages used in the Book of the Coast Emojin, which is both, a clever reuse of props. Save that. We had to save some money on this episode, but also maybe Section 31 has a copy of it. Who's to know? Interesting. Our guest stars this week include Andrew Robinson as Garrick, William Sadler as Sloan, with co-stars Jacqueline Schultz as Jessica, Kate Asner as Nurse Bandy, and Tom Holleran as the operative.
You stink. Wow, you stink bad.
I showered.
It's tux. Oh God, man.
Oh, he's got poop ass.
I'm gonna have to go get a wet wipe.
That happens with Charlie too.
You know what?
Well,
Keep talking,
you know,
Keith.
well, guess
I'm gonna
what?
put it up, but you're gonna have to do the read because this can't stand.
You know, if they needed it, we'd get you a wet wipe.
Oh, the button's not working. Go
It's
for it.
the patrons. This week, they are Bryant Kimball Beersock, Quirks Bar, Jamie Lubin, Jason Moe, Deborah, Peter Benke, Holmes, Joshua Cronin, DC, Anton Thies, Mike, Andrew Hayes, Alan, and the mysterious Worf's Big Ol' Boot Shivs, Charles Babbage, John Kelly, Keith Blank, Casey Alexander, Harry Pothead, Carl Fisher, Alan Gurdon, Deborah Scott, Tren, Odo's Bucket, Losty Moo, Scotty B, Merritt Neath, Byron Woolsey, AI Sausage, Yum Yum, Ben B, Miles Davis, Brian from Video Game Drive-By, Nikolay Ivanovich Lobachevsky, YouTube viewer, Hibernation Pod, Miri Holcomb, Rogue Knight, Fedora the Explorer, JD Makes, Colin Dagan, Chris Mitchell at CRM Productions, Frank Rynch, Pat, Joshua Cronin, Kevin Miles, Justine, Engineer Maynard, Jerome A. Gibson, April H., James Hubbard, Sangel, Jamie Rayborn, Fedora the Explorer again, because I don't think I clocked Fedora's moving around the patron page.
Been saying that for
Yanba,
weeks.
Chanel, Laura Morrison, Bob, Bolian for Soup, Lutz Kramer, Wyatt Eldridge, Kevin Miles, Ryan Caputo, Old Guys Eating Oatmeal, Kelly Graybeal, and of course, the great, the powerful, the hopefully not murdered, Chancellor Jen.
We've got the Patreon Hall of Fame: Casey Clark, Brian Kaufman, Jason Moe, Joshua Cronin, the Mysterious Ann, Andrew Hayes, Worf's Boot Shivs, Colin Dagan, Quarks Bar, Peter Banks, CRM Productions, Jennifer Massanova, Love Ya Miss Ya, Cloud Lover 69, Same Diff, Jorge Navoa, Charles Babbage, Kevin Miles, Frank Rynch, Brian Kilmer, Piersick, JD. You get that ram, buddy. CRM Productions, Ryan Chesley, and Yamba. And do not forget the second pagers, Anton Thies, Merritt Neath, and Harry Pothead. Please come join the team. Patreon.com/K&M. And if you need it, Keith's right. We will wash your bung monkey.
Wow. You're welcome, everybody. Thank you for all your support.
He's yet to come back. He knows he's in for. So if in mid conversation I wipe the cat's butt, so be it.
You know, this time of Yule, you're welcome for our content. He's got the butt wipes ready. What do you say we wipe ourselves into the screening room?
Bung 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 bung.
That literally broke your brain.
bung,
You
bung,
are
bung.
4 years old.
Bung 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 bung. I forgot how funny bung is. TP for my bunghole.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of 90s. All right, so we have we're gonna have two fun things because we got. I sent Mike 2 scenes we have to read from this episode.
Are they both on one page or are they separate?
Yeah, they're both there. They're all on the one document.
Oh, nice,
They're
nice,
labeled
nice.
Scene 1 and Scene 2. As a professional
You even use
writer.
bold.
I use bold because I have to keep your attention focused.
You know that's
It is a-
our
it
love
is a
language.
challenge.
Our love language is knowing our diagnoses.
Love language is keeping you on task. All right, so in our teaser,
No!
Odo is back on the station for treatment, but Bashir has made no progress in the disease. Odo forces him to tell him how long he has, and it's only a week or 2. Odo asks to see Kira, and she comes in and tells him, and he tells her to go back to fighting with Damar. And Kira says, I'm not going to leave until I know you're going to be, I want you to leave. Why? And Odo, I think this is such a touching thing from Odo. It says, you watched Belial die in this very room, and I know that's haunted you. I don't want to be your last memory of me to be witnessing my death. Shouldn't it be my choice? Maybe it should. Maybe I'm being selfish, telling you all the things I want, but I don't want the last thing I see to be the look of pain in your eyes. Heartbreaking stuff. They say they love each other and then kiss.
You know what I love about that is two things, and we've discussed their relationship this whole time. I love that, one, they have the conversation about her agency, and he's not just giving her, he recognizes that it might be selfish, maybe, and I like that, so we clear that sort of bugaboo. But also, I'm always moved and touched by, I'm sure there are many examples of this, but the two that always stick out to me are, one, putting your pet down because you have to make a lot of assumptions and you're trying to do the right thing for them, even though they can't ask. It's sort of like this favor you have to do. And then also, I think it was a Jewish funeral. I'm pretty sure. I could be mistaken, but everybody at the funeral kind of like took a little shovel of dirt and placed it onto the coffin, because everybody participates in doing this final act for the person. I'm pretty sure. Anyway.
There are other funerals that also work that way.
Sure.
But yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
And I just like that here is she's, even though I'm sure she wants to be at his bedside, knowing that his wish is for her to not see it, as difficult, as much of a sacrifice as that probably is for her, accepting that and doing it for him is very moving.
Well, and it is a combination of selfish and altruistic, right? It is his own dignity. He doesn't want to be seen that way. But also, like, I think he's right. And this is true of any person in a situation like that. Like, how, what memory do you want this person to be left with? And that's a very personal choice. That I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. It really is about the relationship.
I think about only by myself. Like, I can't imagine wanting to be alone. Like, how scary that must be to be alone. But
yeah. And I don't imagine anybody really knows until they get there.
You're right, buddy.
So later, Kira and Garrick debrief with Cisco before they leave to go back to Damar. And when they do, O'Brien and Bashir tell Cisco about their belief that Section 31 created the virus. Cisco, of course, being Cisco, gets it immediately. And he says, genocide. Committed by the people who call themselves Federation citizens. Why didn't you tell me about this earlier? Well, we felt that if we did, and Bashir comes in and blocks for his buddy. The chief wanted to tell you, but as a senior officer, I ordered him not to. It's my fault. Good work, Bashir. They've sent a message to Starfleet saying that they have found a cure. Cisco, again, being Cisco, gets it immediately. So you're trying to lure one of their operatives to the station. Okay, let's say it works. What then? We capture him or her, and then try to find out what they know about the disease, who's involved, and maybe even where to find the cure. And how do you propose to do that? I doubt they'll be very cooperative. Bashir says, I've managed to get my hands on a Romulan memory scanner. Shoplifted it from Romulus. That had to have been quite a feat. And off we go, and that is our teaser. So in Act 1 originally began with a different scene that Mike and I are going to read because I feel like it's a good scene for this episode. Okay. Do you want to be Quark or Odo?
I always get to pick. You get to pick this time.
Oh, all right. I'll be Odo.
Okay.
Make you talk.
I just wanted to come by to see how you were doing. Sorry to laugh. I hear the prognosis is, well...
Flake.
There's something you might like to know before. Something we've never talked about, even though I'm sure it's always been in the back of your mind. It has to do with the Tilavan art theft. I think I know who stole the hollow sculptures.
Tell me.
On second thought, why bother?
What?
It's not like you're in any shape to do something about it. Forget I brought it up.
I've spent 9 years working on that case.
I know. That's why it's such a shame that you won't have time to close it before you...
You're going to tell me exactly what you know, and you're going to do it now.
Oh. Suddenly you're not so sick after all. You want to crack the case? Then stop malingering and get back to work, okay? When you do, you know where to find me. With that, Quark exits. Odo stares after him for a beat, astonished, then realizes what Quark was trying to do and that it actually worked. He's sitting up for the first time in a long time. Odo smiles and eases himself back down in the bed. That's beautiful, actually.
It's beautiful, and I think the episode is lesser for not having it in there.
Except, having just experienced this, they did such a great job at the close of last episode, making me fully believe Odo was dead. Like, that Odo was going to die. I don't need any hope, because it makes the end of this episode much more I still didn't think, like, especially when they fail to find it in there at the first point, at the first beat shift. I'm like, oh, they're just setting us up for Odo's death, and I think this scene might have further pushed me to think he might make it.
Okay, so then I have a rewrite which addresses both, because I think the Quark trying to help his best friend here is a really meaningful and sweet moment. But what would have made this work even better, addressing what you're talking about...
He doesn't sit up.
He tries, but fails.
Mm-hmm.
And we see this game that they've always played. This is, I know I'm going to get a rise out of him this time, guaranteed, and it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
That increases the peril, and we can see that register on Quark, like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I think his last line, "You know where to find me," can be almost like a goodbye.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That would have been the best version of all of that. So in the episode proper, Bashir has broken into Quark's to play darts. He can't sleep and kept reading the same page of his book over and over. He's reading A Tale of Two Cities. Now, I do that too, reading the same page over and over. I forget who said it on the watch along, but like the only sort of wormhole in that nugget is like, he could just like read the whole thing in 30 seconds if he wanted to. But this is, reading for pleasure.
Well, then let's look at it a different way, right? Imagine how troubling something must be to preoccupy someone of such augmented brain,
Yeah, for sure. So they discuss, Bashir and O'Brien, how many people have to be in on this conspiracy for it to work. And hundreds of people have to be a part of this. And they realize they have no choice but to destroy Section 31. They decide to go to bed, but be ready to spring the trap. Later, of course, who arrives in Bashir's bedroom other than, considering Garrick is out of town, Sloan himself. Bashir, of course, is sleeping in full uniform. Sloan shows up in his full geek outfit.
Well, it's more, I would like to think it's the Mirror Kira. The Mirror Kira collection.
That's true. I like Mirror Sloan is like regular clothes. Like, the jacket is cool. The leather pants are a bit much. I don't know why he's wearing leather pants.
I hope they're climate controlled, man.
How does that help you with spying? It's ridiculous.
But this is a great example of, as we've seen a bunch in the kind of culmination of this series arc, his hubris gets him a little bit here. Mm-hmm. He thought he was smarter than Bashir this whole time, could play him like a puppet, and he falls into that trap.
Yes, because Bashir hits a button trapping Sloan behind a force field. And Sloan says, "I take it I'm supposed to feel shocked and humbled by your ingenuity. Frankly, I don't care what you feel. What is it you want, Doctor? Why, the same thing you want, to cure the disease. What are you talking about? You already have the cure." "No, you don't. Your message to Starfleet Medical was just bait." And Bashir phasers him unconscious. Awesome. So, and in this next coming scene, we're going to see Bashir's, like, it's not coldness or viciousness, but his, like, lack of pretense, I think, is really interesting. And we'll talk more about how Bashir has changed, right? But it's just like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I think it's really... It's striking.
It aligns with Ben. It aligns with win. It aligns with a lot of people, and whether you agree or disagree with their choices or their course of action, it's nice to see our characters being decisive. They've made their decision, they know what side of the line they're on, and they're pursuing instead of kind of waffling.
Well, it is the transition from next gen to DS9 that is the transition from idealism to pragmatism.
Oh yeah, great, yeah.
And it is interesting also, it makes me think of Kira, who Kira has always been this pragmatist, and everyone has been pushing back against her, and now they're all kind of operating like Kira.
Yeah.
Because the situation is so dire. So Sloan wakes up in the science lab, and he immediately starts casually threatening O'Brien's family. He says, but trust me, Chief, if something were to happen to me, and Bashir says, what, they'd all be killed? I'm disappointed in you, Sloan. You don't usually wield such a blunt instrument. Sloan pretends to know nothing, but Bashir doesn't buy it. You came here because you thought I discovered the cure, and you wanted to destroy it. But first, you'd have to have found it in my lab. And how would you do that unless you knew exactly what you were looking for? You call that reasoning? If I wanted to eliminate your work, all I'd have to do is destroy your lab. You'd never do anything so sloppy. You prefer surgical precision. You came here to destroy the cure, which of course, somewhere in that brain of yours is the information that I want. And beyond blowing up the lab being sloppy, it's Bashir. Once he knows the cure, he knows the cure. The only way to... And they should have addressed this, because the only solution to this was to blow up the lab and kill Bashir. Because he would have, A, backed it up in the cloud, but the biggest cloud of all is his head, and they can't delete it.
Well, I mean, if they're willing to... I guess this almost goes to... Oop. Man, the buttons all do wrong things now. Okay. I don't know if it's a wormhole, but if they're willing to kill all the founders, kill Odo, they're willing to basically do whatever.
Sure.
Why not just blow up Deep Space Nine? Right? Maybe they don't want to risk...
Deep Space Nine is too valuable in the war.
Or the lab, like you said, the lab. Just blow it up with him in it, or like...
Right, I mean, but I think that Sloan's objective would have to be to disappear Bashir. Whether they kill him or whether they Guantanamo him, he had to be here to delete Bashir from the board. Yeah,
to be fair, we never get to know what his plan was because he gets captured too early.
That's true. But I think it would have been better had Bashir addressed that.
Well, there's another wormhole that's kind of sitting there. We'll talk about it a little later.
So, Bashir pulls out the Romulan mind probe, and Sloan says, those are illegal in the Federation. He says, I hope you appreciate the irony of that statement. Great line. When Cisco finds out you're doing this, though, the captain already knows what we're doing, Sloan, and he's given us his full support. And this is when I wrote, we are not on next gen, folks. Sloan knows the game is over. He has no choice other than setting off the suicide device in his brain. Awesome. What a great way to end the act. So in Act 2, Bashir is able to keep Sloan on life support, but his brain is horribly scrambled, and he's only going to live for another hour. So O'Brien has a plan to use the Romulan probes. Sloan's memory pathways have been scrambled, probably to prevent anyone from doing exactly what you proposed. But Bashir has a plan of his own. They're going to VR themselves into Sloan's brain.
Makes a ton of sense. I just, in the real time, I was like, oh, what an opportunity this would have been to bring on like a Klingon or a Vulcan and like mind meld this baby. You know what I mean? It's like already there in our Arch lore, but this is, I guess, essentially just the techno version of that.
It's also the O'Brien and Bashir solution for that. But in the chat, you weren't allowed to watch. There's a lot of discussion about the Vulcan of it all, and realizing there's not a lot of Vulcan-y on Deep Space Nine, and I think that's because of Tuvok on Voyager happening at the same time. We do a lot of Vulcan stuff there.
Okay.
We don't really want to overlap.
What you're telling me is I'll get my Vulcan.
You'll get your Vulcan. You'll get all the Vulcan you want, and probably some more than you don't. So O'Brien says, will just wander along the streets of his mind looking for a box labeled The Cure? As strange as it sounds, it might be just that simple. On the other hand, the experience could be much more surrealistic. I could find myself caught up in memories of Sloan's childhood. But of course, the Freddy nightmare rules apply. If you die in the dream, you die in real life.
Yeah, nothing's safe. You can't go. If you spend too much time in the holodeck, you're gonna die. There's fail-safes will fail.
Of course.
The illicit Romulan stuff, no fail-safes. It's.
Well, you have to have stakes. You have to have peril.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. O'Brien, of course, demands to go along with him. They have 43 minutes to find a cure before Sloan dies. And it's interesting he says 43 minutes, because that's the running time of the episode. There's another version of this which would be really fun to do in real time.
Yes. 24 style.
To do it 24 style. I understand that we couldn't really in this situation because the setup and all that, but it would be kind of fun. But again, I think this episode is the most hamstrung in the second half of the season by budget.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did not have the budget to make this as interesting as it could have been. So they put on headsets and head into Sloan's brain, finding themselves on a turbolift on Deep Space Nine because, the next 2 episodes are astoundingly expensive. After a moment of false peril, thinking the turbolift was going super fast, they open a door and a cheerful Sloan greets them. Doctor! Chief O'Brien, welcome! You know how happy I am to see you.
Do you know what we missed?
What did we miss?
For the opening. Right here. It's staring me in the face.
Ha!
What were we thinking?
Get out of my head! Yeah, great.
Well.
Yeah. We're not going to go back.
What could have been?
There's no going back. Our
That's my teaser.
jokes.
My teaser will be the opening that should have been, but just me doing
there
it
it
myself
is.
because you will have signed off by then.
Oh, I'll be at Costco by then.
Yeah, but what's fun when you're not here for something is how I decide to create an image of you.
You do, yeah. There's you're very quick on the AI draw. Although you did pay for it today.
I did. You're right.
You should show the picture AI made of you today.
Should I?
Yeah, you
All
should.
right.
That was great.
I had a work meeting.
You did this to yourself, but
So I had a work meeting, and I forgot that we were supposed to bring a festive background or some crap like that. And I was like, I'll just have AI do it. So I popped a frame of myself, and I just said, hey, make this a Rankin and Bass. I'm dressed just like I am now. And I said, make this a Rankin and Bass Christmas claymation version of me. And I don't know what AI thinks, but clearly they think I'm fat and grumpy because...
and a little frightened.
Silver and gold. Ah, to hell with it. Actually, I did start by saying in my meeting, I was like, some crap like that.
Look, this is this is how Mike's gonna look about season 5 of Voyager.
All right, AI. Touche.
Yeah, there you are. So we met the cheerful Sloan, and Bashir asks him for the cure, and Sloan, strangely, agrees readily, but can't say the words. Another part of his brain is blocking him. And this Sloan wants him to meet his family and go to his wake or funeral of some sort in the wardroom. And he gives a speech to his family and friends. And maybe you can help me understand what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Sloan says to his very grumpy family, I'm gonna not say what I was gonna say about his family. It says, as I stand here, reunited with my friends and family for one last time, I want you, the people I love, to know just how sorry I am for all the pain I've caused you. I dedicated my life to the preservation and protection of the Federation. This duty, which I carried out to the best of my ability, took precedence over everything else. My parents, my wife, my children. I lived in a world of secrets, of sabotage and deceit. I spent so much time erasing my movements, covering my tracks. That's what you're trying to do with Tuxie, erase his movements. And now I look back at my life. I find nothing. It's as if I never really existed. I cheated you all out of being in my life, and what's more, I cheated myself as well. I know a simple apology wouldn't change that. Still, I feel the need to apologize anyway. No tears, please. Nobody was crying. My death isn't a tragedy, it's a celebration. In death, I can finally step out of the shadows to prove to myself that I existed, that I lived.
Okay, so I did have the same trouble you did with this scene, and then I have figured out something for myself. You tell me if it works, all right?
All right, fill the wormhole. Let's do it.
So in order to live out his Section 31 life, basically, he had to compartmentalize, quite literally.
For sure.
Right? And so I think the mind meld of it all, right? You know, they say when you die, like your life flashes before your head, your mind. I think in the time between the self-destruct button and the brain scramble of the Romulan device has sort of created let the compartmentalization out of the box and him to walk through it and sort of like say this apology to them, which he wouldn't have had the opportunity to before. So that's...
Yeah, and I think that's true. We're obviously playing with different parts of his mind that he's compartmentalized. I think that's exactly right. I just think that both the writing and the performance of it
felt
make
celebratory.
It muddy.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and it's two things. One, how warmly he greets them. It's like, oh, here, let me help, right? If what this scene is about is the part of him that regrets what he has done in his life, what regrets his isolation, regrets how he's treated everybody else, and we are supposed to take this to be real. The man they ran across in the turbo lift should have been the guy like, oh my God, I've just realized I've ruined all of my life. Let me help you. I need to make something of this. I need to go apologize to my family. I've got to work with this. And so the inconsistency of those two scenes back to back, this is not the guy feeling those feelings.
Yeah.
He's saying these words, but those feelings aren't there. And in the script, the stage directions call on him to play this very emotionally connected, to play this super straight, to play this weeping, to play this and Bill Sadler doesn't do that.
Maybe it would have been more effective as like a sort of a Scrooge type of scenario, like it's actually a funeral we walk into.
Yes.
And it's his family giving him the eulogy, talking about how he effed them all over and wasn't present.
Like I think that's exactly right. I think there's like a Christmas Carol energy here that just gets muddy.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not emotionally connected or consistent. So it just feels like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this?
Right.
This feels
it's
like
one
a
of two
waste
things,
of time.
Right. It's two plots that are confused, right? I like what they introduce. Hey, I'm here. I want to help you. Shmama, shmama, shmama. I can't. So I thought the mystery was going to be, how do we unscramble what he's trying to tell them? But this scene happens then, and they drop that. They drop that plot thread entirely.
It doesn't feel motivated, right? Because like, why is he trying to help them all of a sudden? We need to have some sort of a, when I died, I'm like, oh my God, everything changed for me. I have this new perspective.
Or, here's my family that's locked behind this door that I've compartmentalized. If I help you, I will get the opportunity to apologize to them. Like, give him motivation, right?
Right. Or like he went back and my whole family, everyone in my life is rejecting me. I realized I have to do one good thing to earn their love again, or something.
The passcode to the door is the cure. We have to,
we got to find the rosebud, right? It's sort of muddy, and then
they're all coming up to him. It doesn't make any sense. I will agree.
They're trying for something, but they're nowhere near succeeding at it, and it's frustrating because it really emotionally neuters and it all feels like filler as a result. And I think the place of it happening on Deep Space Nine, which I understand is a budget thing.
It is filler because, I mean, if you look at the solution to the puzzle, it has nothing to do with this.
It has nothing to do with really sort of anything. So if you're trying to have an emotional catharsis, it's not there. I also think that, pragmatically, right? So we got to save money. We have to do it on existing sets. We have to do it in interiors. Do it on the Voyager sets.
Ooh.
And because he was also Starfleet, that puts us in a completely different environment that we're not as familiar with. And that's going to feel much more jarring and would make more sense because he definitely spent plenty of time on Starfleet ships, and we were on the Voyager sets just a few episodes ago. Now, Voyager was probably using them, right? But I think that would have made this feel more out of place. Anyway, we also meet his wife, who thanks Bashir and O'Brien. For some reason, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for Luther. Kill him, and for me. But she does
at least O'Brien and Bashir play the confusion of like, what the?
Like, what is happening right now? And she says, frankly, being married to him was a living hell.
Thanks, honey.
No, but that's the thing. It's not emotionally connected, right? If his family were rejecting him in this moment, and he is in agony, he is in regret, he's not feeling any regret. So the two Sloans, and we have the Sloan who's like still the bad guy, right? It should be the Sloan in regret and agony, and the Sloan who is like, no, it was the right thing to do. I did the wrong thing. No, I'm doing the right thing, and tell that story. And all the other people in his life should be rejecting him, should be shutting him out, and he should be desperately searching for some sort of human connection. And maybe I can redeem myself by giving this cure. That's how you fix that.
Yeah, but ultimately, like, that then makes the plot about Sloan, and it's not, right? It's about them. So it's like they wanted too many things. They just wanted too much.
Well, it ends up not really being about much of anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Sloan is about to give them the info when another Sloan appears and kills friendly Sloan. They chase the other Sloan through a bunch of unfamiliar Starfleet corridors. So in Act 4, we get back to the real world, and Sisko and Esri have discovered Bashir and O'Brien in the VR beds. Sisko calls for a medical team to help.
Wish they were holding hands.
They should have been, yeah. Back in the real world, Sisko and Esri have... already said that. Back in Sloan's brain, Bashir says that they've been in here for 23 minutes already, halfway through their time. But they keep moving deeper and deeper into Sloan's brain until they are stopped by a Section 31 operative, who tells them it's a restricted area and shoots Bashir. O'Brien attacks, but then gets shot as well. The operative disappears, leaving both of them injured. And O'Brien says, doesn't make sense. If none of this is real, how come it hurts so much? And we explain the rules of if you die in the dream, you die in real life. And Bashir tries to pull them out of there, but he is not capable of bringing himself out. So they're trapped and dying. And they have this scene 2, which is scene 2 with Mike and I. You want to be O'Brien or Bashir?
That's funny.
This is going to be Mike and I at the end of our episode.
I can't do an O'Brien, and I imagine you have probably an accent you can do.
Oh, I'd be happy to do it, O'Brien.
Oh, boy. Maybe not.
I should have left Keiko a note. Told her we were planning.
Oh, we've lost everybody.
All right, I'll be O'Brien. I should have left Keiko a note. Told her what we were planning.
Why worry her?
I want her and the kids to understand why I had to do this.
She'll understand, Miles. She know you did it for me.
That's what's gonna hurt her most of all. She always said I liked you better than her.
That's ridiculous. Well, maybe a little.
What? You crazy? She's my wife. I love her.
Of course you love her, but maybe she's right. Maybe you like me more.
I do
You
not.
spend more time with me.
We work together.
More than that. We have a lot in common.
Julian, you're starting to annoy me.
Racquetball, darts, Vic's Lounge, the Alamo. Need I go on?
I love my wife.
And I love Esri.
You do?
Passionately. At least I think I do.
Have you told her?
Not yet, but I will.
When?
When I'm ready. But that's not the point. I love her. But I like you more. See? I can admit it.
Well, I love my wife.
It's cute.
It's cute. Then they see yeah, Jen and I are going to have this conversation.
Sure, but you can have them.
She's like, yeah, you love him more, right? Right?
Yeah.
You did. Yeah. Then they see a tunnel of light and head into it, bringing them back into the real world where Worf, Sisko, and the medical team are waiting. Bashir wants to go back in, of course, but because they're healed. But Sloan finishes dying. It's too late. Later, they're all sad, but there's nothing else they can do. Until Bashir tries to keep reading Tale of Two Cities, but finds the rest of it empty. They're still in Sloan's head, which you picked up right away.
Mm-hmm.
O'Brien says, "What? These are my quarters. Keiko's sleeping in the other room." Why are they shouting if she's sleeping in the other room?
We've done that trick before too.
We have.
And we've also done the in the mind. We've done the Magic School Bus before. Remember, we had the big tubes and they shrunk themselves down, and the little guy flew across.
We did it twice because in Little Ship they were little going around the chips. But also remember when we did it with Bashir, when his brain gets zapped by the Zeppelin or Zephian or whatever, and he's like turning into Malcolm McDowell wandering around the station.
Wait, but didn't we do it too when the first time we met Section 31 and they tricked him, making him wake up in his PJs and
and he was in the holodeck the whole time?
That's why it feels a little redundant. I will say I liked this flippy flop. I would have preferred it have 2 beats, whereas one of the inconsistencies he notes is a character inconsistency because they talk to Worf, they talk to Odo, they talk to a bunch of people, and I would have loved for someone to clock a difference in one of the characters and then have this resolve here be the
except they're getting these characters by reading his mind. So it would always be consistent with him.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
But I like the idea that the book does not continue past whatever he has read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good thing.
But it's weird that he's only read the first sentence of the book.
That is weird. Though I do like the Chekhov's gun of it because he drops this earlier.
Yeah.
And that was so subtle that I didn't see it connect. Like it didn't ring true as foreshadowing in that moment, and it comes back here. I thought that was well done.
Oh, that's good. So they figure out the guarded door is the one with the information. So they run towards it, and the corridor starts shaking. Sloan's brain is finally actually dying. They open the door to find a treasure trove of intelligence. It's the secret files of Section 31. I like this idea. Sloan, dying, is in there.
Oh, there's the Coast emoji right there.
That's right. And it says, "Welcome to Section 31, gentlemen. I know exactly what you're here. You know what we're here for. Well, you don't expect me to help you." Sloan tries to entice them with tasty morsels of intelligence, but Bashir stays focused and finds the cure. "I think it's time to get out of here." And Bashir, hold on for a moment. "What for?" "These files contain all of Sloan's memories of Section 31. With this information, we could destroy the entire organization." The room shakes again, more sparks. "That'll have to wait." "Not that simple, Chief," says Sloan. "There's no building, no room like this in the real world. Section 31 has no headquarters. These files, they exist only in the minds of a very select group of people, and I happen to be one of them." So he's trying to,
take them with him.
Suck him in with the ring. O'Brien knows they need to get out, but Bashir is too tempted to stay. Sloan is trying to keep them here and kill them all. But Bashir finally wakes himself up and finds Ezri standing over him. Now, they have the cure.
So the only thing, I don't know if it's a wormhole, but it did jump to me. Maybe it didn't to you. So first of all, the cure is 4 elements.
Right.
So not tricky. I mean, not like intense. It's just maybe they're hard to get, but I would have loved to have seen in the stage directions Bashir have that like why didn't I figure that out moment, right? He sees what it is.
Literally just 4 things.
Yeah, and him being like, of course.
Oh, you put the milk in with the gelatin.
Yeah, like you gotta stir it. Oh, but nothing. And it's so subtle, but it bugged me because I was like, oh, he should have that moment where he's like, I could have done this.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. But more importantly, he injects Odo with the cure, who looks horrible and it's painful, but Odo is cured.
Hey!
He's back.
I thought for sure he was a goner, man. They got me.
Yeah, I could tell you thought he was toast.
I thought he was toast because I was like, somebody has to die. We're in the end game. So Odo makes it.
Well, Sloan just died.
Who gives a shit?
So later, O'Brien and Bashir drink and play darts to celebrate. To friendship.
To stolen illicit booze.
Yeah, that's right. To friendship. We already did that. Let's do it again. Yes, so There it is. We had one last Bashir O'Brien caper, and it was consequential.
Yeah, it was fun. There was some fun to be had.
We did some stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's time to adjudicate it.
Well, shall we?
Let's do it.
This poor guy's neck's gotta hurt. He's been dancing for years.
It's been looping in the back of your OBS.
What an
His
asshole.
jaw. I worry about his jaw.
I know, that man can eat an apple.
Face butt.
None of my buttons work, man.
I don't know, man. There it is.
It don't matter.
Best moment.
There's some good ones. I think, regardless of how we got there, when we get to the room and we have it there, and we've already done the flippy floppy, the big flip.
Mm-hmm.
There's still one last. I love that Sloan's to the last moment. He's like, okay, everything else has failed. I'm going to implode them with me by giving them the keys to the kingdom, potentially. And I bet you, I think that is so consistent with how they've built sort of Bashir's pseudo obsession with the Section 31 and bringing it down, and how he even plants that seed earlier. Maybe would have even been better if O'Brien had urged him, if O'Brien had helped buddied him out a little bit, whatever. And I think Sloan is great there. I think the imagery of that scene is really great. So I think that little scene in the last couplet there is good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's finally where you start feeling some stakes, and you start feeling we give our character some dilemma there. For me, though, the best moment is the scene with Odo and Kira.
Oh yeah,
And Nana's acting in that is just beautiful and heartbreaking, and I think that it's just a real scene. It's a real human scene, a real relationship scene, a real
would have played
dilemma.
had it been the last time they seen each other.
Yes,
it would have played.
And it's consistent with both characters. Odo's pride, not wanting to be seen that way, as also his empathy, understanding what Kira has already gone through, not wanting to build on that. Kira's wanting to be there, but also her professionalism and like knowing Odo is right. And like I thought that was a really mature and beautiful relationship moment. I thought that was very. I thought it was beautifully done. And I think had you coupled that with our rewrite of the Quark Odo scene, we would have been really convinced he was toast. And I think that would have added to the peril of the whole situation.
Well, Keith, I guess I'll let you know now. I think that this Stem Bolts bumper is one of your finest works ever made.
Oh,
and as far as bumpers are concerned. And we only get to hear it 3 more times, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
You get some stem bolts. Hell yeah, they are self-sealing. Here are some stem bolts for you.
It's that last chord. It doesn't quite resolve. It's a little suspended. I love it.
No, it's 1564154.
Yep.
Interesting.
Sus4, if you will.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
it's your turn to talk, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I like the soup. It's just one of those soups where I can taste all of the individual ingredients, and I like them, but they don't quite complement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the idea of a final Bashir and O'Brien romp, but I kind of feel like we've done all of the beats before. We've had the Magic School Bus episode. We've had the, I think what's nice is that let me give it its positives first. What is nice and different about it is it's a great mirror, right? If we look at the first O'Brien and Bashir romp, where they're sort of on that planet and there's all the battling happening around, and O'Brien's down for the count, and Bashir's like a little baby coward and he can't quite get out, and they hate each other, compared to now where they both get shot, which is kind of a callback to that episode. and they profess their love for each other very,
right, in a very bro dude way,
but less so in a bro dude way. I actually think I loved sort of how straight they play it, in a way.
Right.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if the direction or the original in the writer room, it was much more tongue-in-cheek and much more jokey, and they just were like, you know what? No, we're gonna play this straight because that's how. Especially if you think you're gonna die. I liked it. So I give them that. However, it just felt a little redundant, and the individual beats of the it felt very video game side questy, and yet the individual fetch quests had nothing to do with each other. They felt very disparate. They try to explain that away by saying, oh, in his mind, it might be surreal. It could be all like what dreams may come, but it's not that. They're just all, it just doesn't work. Except for that last bit, I think does work. And I like the flip. There's some stuff. Like you said, the Odo and Kira of it is beautiful. I wish Odo had some agency, but like I said, I don't know where that's going to go. So that was nice. I am starting to feel very itchy because this is like 3 episodes in a row where we get like one scene with Ben Sisko, and I'm like, yo, this is the guy, the keystone of the whole thing, and he's just, I don't know, I'm feeling like I'm away about it. We have the cure, which is humongous. So like I can't lose sight of that. Indy's got the golden idol, right?
Yep.
So that has weight, but I think in the arc, if I would be lying if I said I didn't feel like a bit of a regression here. Like it feels a little bit like wasted time for me because I'm like, I have 3 left and this is one of them. And I'm like, okay, Odo's gonna live. I love that, but so much else I want to know. So it's hard not to feel a little bit of a setback coming from a Hundy. So if I have to give it a number, I hate to ding it, but it just doesn't do enough for me. So I'm going 79.
Yeah, I this is clearly the weakest of the final arc, no question. And
that might be generous, actually, but
yeah, I mean, like it serves its purpose, right? It does all of the things, but I don't think it does any of them particularly well, right? Final caper for Bashir and O'Brien, not a really satisfying caper. We resolve the Section 31 arc, but not particularly satisfying. It cures Odo, which is great, but not a super satisfying way to do it. And so it's it is a frustrating episode to have in the final 3 for sure. There's a lot of good stuff in there, and you could say that it was hamstrung by some of the budgetary issues, but I don't think it's really that. I think this one is failed by its writing, not its budget, not its performers, not anything else. It's undercooked. Right? You liked all the ingredients. Well, none of them are cooked. So you forgot to turn the crock pot on. So you've got all the ingredients in there, but it's still just uncooked. And so that's why it's not emotionally resonant. That's why the ideas are half-baked. It's like we're starting a good idea, but then we don't follow it through. We're trying to do stuff. It's just not as successful as it should be. And I think, as we talked to the rewrites that I would have done are sort of in there. But I think like there was a way to do this. Going into the dying Sloan's brain, like and the episode up into the point where they decide to go into his brain, I thought we were great. It's really only that we went in there that we sort of lost our way. And so just rewrite that part of it. Make the inside of his brain more interesting, make it more emotionally resonant, make it make more sense. And I think we really could have done this. So, I mean, literally, go back to the writing room. You have 2 more weeks to finish this, then let's shoot it. But that's not how things work in real life. And when you're doing 26 episodes under all of that pressure, sometimes it doesn't all get baked. You forgot to set the timer. So for me, it gets 72. self-sealing stem bolts. But rest assured, there's only 2 more left, and we're done with the stinkers. We were done with the stinkers after Field of Fire. Now we're done with mediocrity.
This is it. We got Penny and Final.
We do. Yeah, it's crazy. So next week is the Dogs of War. I can't believe there's only 2 left. Which is crazy. But very excited about it. So all right, so you know what? Mike, pitch us the last 2. You have 90 seconds to pitch us the last 2 episodes of the series. How does Deep Space Nine end for Mike?
Okay, well, I feel like they have an opportunity to go back to the idealism of Trek, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think. So next week we bring the Bajoran Wraith religious stuff to a close. I don't know how, but that is resolved next week. Somehow that all gets tied, and I think it ends with both Kai Wynn and Dukat being dead. I think we kill both those baddies. Dead.
Didn't even tell you to do it bloodthirsty.
However, in the finale, the resistance holds. I think enough people turn on the founders that they are the Jem'Hadar, and the Cardassians are able to turn the tide, the Jem'Hadar, and thus rendering the Dominion no longer in power, especially with their illness, and we're left with that final choice. And Odo, and I think that Ben and the powers that be decide. And with Odo, in consult with Odo, Ben and Odo decide they are going to give the cure to the Dominion. And thus ushering in the age, like Ben gets to give the monologue of monologues, where he decides why they're going to do that and how going forward with the Alpha Quadrant and the what's the other quadrant we're worried about? The Beta Quadrant?
Gamma Quadrant.
Gamma Quadrant can work together. Deep Space Nine will be like, I don't know, but we end with them making the decision not to nuke, and Ben gets to give the monologue of all monologues. That's my pitch.
Well, there it is. You have
the Bill Pullman Independence Day speech.
Sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, we have 2 more episodes to find out.
But that's not the question. Who dies? Because there has to be a hero's sacrifice, right?
Who's to say?
So maybe in order to give them the cure, Odo has to goo. He has to sacrifice himself into the goo pool and say goodbye. So maybe that's the flippy flop, is that we saved him only for him to sacrifice himself.
These are all good things.
Or maybe...
Okay, here we go.
When Ben is giving this speech, Odo decides to make himself into a goo spear and stabs Ben, and it was a ruse the whole time, and the Dominion reigns.
What?
Under Leader Odo. Holy crap, is that one? Pirates flying everywhere.
Goo talk. I love it.
Oh, man. I have no idea is the answer to the question.
All right, folks. We will see you back here next week with the Dogs of War. Watch us watch it live, where Mike is going to complain about not being allowed to chat, but he's not going to be able to
anyway.
anyway.
Talk behind my back the whole time.
Yeah, we are. At patreon.com/KandM. Yeah. Happy holiday season to everybody. We'll see you back next week with the Dogs of War. Thank you for watching K&M Entertainment. If you enjoyed our particular brand of nonsense, please like and subscribe. Or become one of our patrons at patreon.com/KNM.
I'm looking for the cure, but I can't find it. It's a mess in there.
Get out of my head!